Thank you.
Right.
And we'll go ahead and open the meeting for the Angola Common Council Thursday, January 9th, 2014. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Crum?
Here.
Councilmember Olson?
Here.
Councilmember Armstrong? Councilmember Martin? Councilmember McClellan?
Present.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to bear with me a little bit as I talk about our city employees and this last weather event. Every time I think our employees have reached the pinnacle of what they can do, they prove to me that I'm wrong and they can do more. They always do a great job in these weather events. Anything that comes along, I know when something's coming, they're going to get it taken care of, and they're going to get it taken care of well, but I keep thinking someday they're going to reach that part where we're not going to get through it as well as we think we should. And they proved me wrong again this weekend. Street Department did an outstanding job. The last 4 days, they have 167 hours of plowing in and drove 1,630 miles just to keep our streets open. Beyond that, yesterday in talking with Doug, asking kind of what his plans were the next few days so we could get it out on Facebook and stuff, he said, well, he hoped to get 2 corners done, cleaning the plows out on the circle, or cleaning the mounds out on the circle here today, and he hoped to get the other 2 tomorrow. When I came through this morning at 6:30, they had 2 of the mounds already done, and the others were done by 8 o'clock. I mean, just awesome. Then you go beyond that, and our park and wastewater departments are helping them by opening up the drains as much as they can in case we get this rain coming up, so the water's got somewhere to go. So they're stepping up and helping them. Of course, the park department kept the walking trail open, which is no simple task. Tom Selman kept our towers from freezing. He found out we got a problem with some of the mechanics out there that was freezing, and though that water's not moving up and down, they could freeze, which would have been a terrible situation for us. He was out all Monday night, I believe. Probably was up 30 hours from the time to Monday morning came around to whenever he got to bed, going around making sure the water, he was handling it mechanically or manually, getting those towers up and down. Police and fire, first we're out there helping people get out of snowbanks and making sure everything was staying safe on our streets, as well as the firemen I know had a couple of fires and a whole bunch of dispatches that they went to, running two staffs at each day for the most part. Deb and Tammy came in here on Monday and Tuesday to make sure that the payroll was being taken care of for these employees that are working their tails off for the citizens of this community, and they wouldn't be late getting their paychecks this week. And then I got to really get a pat on the back to the citizens of this community and driving around. They did a great job, and I'll let Chief Hamlin talk about the tagging and so forth, but they did a great job of getting their vehicles off the streets. And driving around and seeing more and more sidewalks that are being plowed than I think I have in the past. So we got to give our citizens a pat on the back. The only thing we would ask is when these things come up, we're calling dispatch about whether you can go to work or not. They were getting hundreds of calls on whether they could go to work or not. Well, the county had their emergency thing on where they weren't supposed to be out, and I realize it can be a problem if your employer expects you to be at work, but you know, just understand you're traveling on your own dime there, and you may end up getting a ticket. I'm going to pass a couple of photos around. This is what our street department faces when they're out in a snowstorm. People think because they're a big truck they can see them. Well, they're fighting the snow on the windshields, ice on the windshields like everybody else. Police and fire, the same thing out of emergencies. We got to understand that they're facing the same elements we are.
Did you take those pictures when you were riding along there?
Doug Anderson took those pictures.
While he was driving?
As he was driving.
He texted him to you.
He may have stopped while he was taking that picture. But it's just a case of, that's what they're facing, not just dodging cars as they're going down the street, seeing where the lights and the curves and everything are at. There's just a lot more to it than just running up and down the street. These guys are professionals, do a great job. And I just want to publicly congratulate and thank our employees for the outstanding job they do day after day and how they rise to the top during any emergency event. I don't think any of us could be any prouder of them than we are right now. So, you see them, give them a pat on the back and a thank you. All of you guys in here, we thank you, we appreciate it. We really do appreciate it. We can't give out bonuses, but we can at least thank you for the jobs you guys do.
Mr. Mayor,
Yeah.
I talked to the fire department today, and they made a thing that I didn't think of, was to remind everybody that in a snow event, we need to make sure that the hydrants near their houses are open, because a lot of times you get your sidewalk, you get your driveway, and all of a sudden the fire plug is blocked, and so they want to make sure to remind everybody that, if you have a fire plug in front of your house, take another couple minutes, because if there's a fire, one thing they don't want to do is have
That's a good point.
to dig out the fire, instead of the fire hydrant, so they can get to the fire. So, I said I would bring that tonight.
Good, thank you. The other thing, we sent it out over Facebook today, if this rain event comes in and we really get a lot of water, people really need to keep an eye on their sub pumps. Sometimes those things burn out from and you don't realize, you just assume they're working. You need to be checking on them all the time to keep from flooding from happening. So we just pass that on. So request approval of the December 16th, 2013 minutes.
So moved. Second.
Moving seconded, discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those same sign. Motion carried. Under unfinished business, ordinance number 1460-2013, an ordinance establishing a schedule of rates and charges to be collected by the city of Angola, Indiana from owners of property served by the sewage treatment works of the city of Angola, Indiana, third reading.
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded, discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those same sign, motion carried. Is there any other unfinished business? If not, under new business, resolution number 2014-639, a resolution authorizing the mayor to pursue the purchase of property located at 206 North Wayne Street and 205 North Martha Street, former Wendy's.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Request consideration and approval of the 2014 fire protection agreement with the town of Fremont for $72,989 for a portion of Jamestown Township.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Request consideration and approval of the 2014 agreement for services with Steuben County Economic Development Corporation in the amount of $51,678.
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded, discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carried. Request approval of December 2013 collection list of $305.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those same sign. Motion carried. Reports for treasurer.
Nothing, Mr. Mayor.
Just back to the snowy last few days. The police department red tagged over 100 vehicles in the city under snow removal ordinance. And yeah, we did give them a little extra time to dig out. Out of all of them, we only had to impound 2 vehicles.
Oh, good.
So it worked out pretty good. It seems like we've done it 3 times now this year, which is for record, we're lucky to do it once in the last few years.
Yeah.
But every time, everyone's been great about digging out their vehicles and getting them moved pretty quickly.
Bill?
I just wanted to update council real quick on the Wendell Jacob Avenue right-of-way acquisition. There's 19 parcels to be acquired, and there are 8 that have been paid or in the process of being paid. 7 of those, there's 7 more that have accepted the city's offer but are waiting on the mortgage release from the bank. And so there's 4 others that are still kind of in negotiation. One of those 4 actually has accepted the offer, but their deed issue, the state doesn't want to take that's that special mortgage deed. So 15 of the 19 have accepted the offers, actually 16 of the 19, and hopefully we can work out that warranty deed thing so they don't change their mind. So there's 3 that are just still in negotiation. That's all I have.
Okay, Tom?
Just to touch base again on the fire hydrants, I do have 2 guys, my crew digging. There's 522 fire hydrants in town, so it's quite a chore. We also realized that the 75 hydrant flags that we have out on key hydrants, they're sort of on problem areas when we push back snow and things. We're way short of this type of a snow kind of fall, so we're going to try to invest in more flags next year. They're real expensive, so I think we might manufacture them ourselves. They're not anything high-tech, but I've got some prices, and versus $30 a piece, I think we can get them for about $2 a piece if we make them ourselves. So hopefully next year we can get them. A lot of towns put them on when they do their fall flushing and then take them off in the spring flushing. I don't like the looks of them. I don't think it's attractive to have this steel thing up in the air. And it doesn't take us but a day or so to get them out. And we just need to learn to do it before it happens. We were sort of behind the 8 ball on this one, so we'll do better next year on getting more of them flagged and hopefully get the public aware that to help us take care of it. It's to their benefit too. So might actually work with the fire department a little bit and see if we can't get some help between departments when this happens. And I know they're busy too, but maybe we can all pitch in on like we do with everything else, and work together to get them all cleaned out.
How many flags did you have?
About 75 is what we have at this time. There's flags and post. The posts are a little more, maybe not as visible, but easier to install and on and off. The college, I did want to say too, Trine's done real well on keeping their private hydrants and the city-owned hydrants around the college. They do a nice job. That helps us, that whole area we don't have to worry about. They get that opened up nice for us. That's all, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Kim?
No reports.
Request approval of the allowance of accounts payable vouchers of $87,97, $9,074, totaling $1,350,143.84, which includes transfers of $169,721.49.
Second.
Move seconded, discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carried. Is there any other new business? Anyone wants to bring it? If not, next regular common council meeting will be Tuesday, January 21st, because of Martin Luther King Day will be closed on Monday, January 20th. Thank you all. Brady?